Welcome to episode 16 of The Closest They Came, a series where we take a look back on the days when drivers, winless at NASCAR's highest level, came painfully close to etching their names into the history books. Today we'll be looking back on Ted Musgrave's race in the 1997 TranSouth Financial 400, taking the series to the Darlington Raceway for the second time. His first notable success would come in the CWRA, where he would win numerous marquee events between 1979 and 1986. He would eventually begin running ASA full-time in 1987, earning Rookie of the Year and eventually claiming 3 race victories by July of 1990. He would make his Cup Series debut in August of 1990, driving for Ray DeWitt, following the tragic death of Rich Vogler. After running full-time for DeWitt between 1991 and 1993, he would sign with Roush Racing in 1994. Musgrave would nearly get it done at Martinsville in April of 1995. In the midst of the best season of his Cup Series career, with a fast car, he would come home second, running 0.8 of a second behind Rusty Wallace when the skies opened up for good in the rain-shortened Haynes 500. By the time teams pulled into Darlington, South Carolina in March of 1997, Musgrave had earned 13 top 5 and 40 top 10 finishes in his Cup Series career up to that point. He would line up 21st after averaging 168.746 miles per hour on his timed lap, moving into the top 20 during the opening laps.
Ted Musgrave picks up a position going to the inside of the 91 car of Mike Wallace.
His Chevrolet as Musgrave goes by.
A rash of early cautions would slow his immediate progress. Bobby Hamilton's incident in Turn 4 on lap 6 would bring out the first yellow. Debris off of Hamilton's car would slow the event once more on lap 18. Mike Wallace would crash in Turn 4 on lap 28. Kyle Petty and David Green would crash in Turn 3 on lap 40. Robert Presley and Gary Bradbury had their own incident in Turn 3 on lap 49. And finally, oil on the track would bring out caution number 6 on lap 59. The race would restart on lap 63, kicking off a long green flag run.
Jeff Burton, Hut Strickland tried to take it on the inside.
Musgrave would resume his charge forward.
Passes Bill Elliott in turn number 4. And coming along, Ted Musgrave.
Following a pit sequence by the leaders, Dave Marcus would spin on the backstretch on lap 121. By the time the dust settled, Musgrave had made his way up into the top 10 in time for the lap 127 restart. He would continue to fight forward.
And here comes Sterling Marlin.
That was a near wreck right there coming off the turn 2. And those cars all got slowed down and separated out and didn't have a wreck. Good for them.
Ted Musgrave leads that.
Oil on the backstretch would bring out the yellow for the 8th time. Luckily for Musgrave, he had a tire going down just prior and was able to pit on sequence. He would restart from 7th on lap 141 and continue to surge forward on this run.
Here's Hut Strickland trying to get beneath him. Also Ted Musgrave.
Musgrave has quietly had a good run here today. He's on the 7th position.
Ted Musgrave, by the way, tested here, and during the test, he scraped the wall, as is not so uncommon. He was 3rd quick among the testers who were here prior to the race.
Back with the Econo Lodge onboard camera. This is Hut Strickland's car as he looks back at Ted Musgrave. This was a battle for 6th and 7th.
From Musgrave's onboard camera, we'll look ahead to Hut.
And you see up ahead there that Ernie Irvin just got by Jeff Bodine going down into turn 3.
Inside looking.
And Jeff Burton took over the lead from Jeff Gordon.
Thing okay?
And there we see Musgrave go by.
Yeah, just got loose really bad.
Jeff Gordon coming off the turn, so that's carrying the run on him.
And here comes the 16 car of Musgrave trying to get by.
Bill has more on the 16 car of Ted Musgrave, who's now 6th.
Bob Ted's charging to the front. He got saved by that last caution. He has a cut in this tire. This is the right rear tire that just took off the Family Channel Prime Star Ford. A cut very similar to what we saw on one of Mark Martin's tires yesterday in the Busch race. This tire was going down, but the caution saved him. Ted got 4 fresh tires, and now he's charging to the front. He also got a big benefit from running in the Busch race yesterday in Doug Taylor's car. Taylor allowed the Roush guys to change shocks on that car to try and get their car set up for today. They said they learned a lot yesterday, and they plan on using it and capitalizing on it today.
Robert Presley and Ricky Craven would have a violent crash on the backstretch on lap 164, bringing the leaders into the pits. Musgrave would make his way out in 5th in time for the lap 175 restart.
Earnhardt got a good start down on the inside. He'll have the preferred line swinging there.
Making his way around Jeff Gordon for 4th on lap 177.
The battle for 4th.
And Musgrave is trying to take it away from Jeff Gordon. Gordon goes very high. Musgrave turns left, gets a spot, takes it away from Jeff Gordon. Ted Musgrave is right on his back. The 2 Roush cars, the 99 and the 16, as they go by the 37 of Jeremy Mayfield.
Up 3rd, 4th, and 7th for the 3 Roush cars, and also what we're seeing today is a little R&D. All 3 of those cars have different chassis builders. The 16 car of Musgrave in 3rd is a Mike Laughlin chassis. The 99 car of Jeff Burton is a Ronnie Hopkins chassis. And Mark Martin is driving the new in-house Roush car chassis designed by Steve Meal. So 3 different race cars, 3 different chassis, and all 3 in the top 7.
Well, we watched the Pennzoil copter cam shot as Jarrett went around the track. Now we'll look at Ted Musgrave from his onboard.
Man, do they have the steering wheel close to their body.
They do. I didn't drive a race car that way, Bean, and my arms sort of outstretched. And I don't know, they say you got more leverage this way than when you're outstretched, so I guess I've done it wrong.
It's just amazing.
And the one Ted Musgrave is driving is a new Laughlin car that this team tested with 3 times and it's never been raced until today. In fact, they hadn't planned to race it here. They wanted to bring the same Roushcraft car they used at Rockingham, Richmond, and Atlanta, but of course, Ted was in that violent wreck at Atlanta 2 weeks ago. So they had to bring the new car here. The car that Ted was driving in Atlanta 2 weeks ago is still at the Roush shops in Liberty, North Carolina, and NASCAR plans to take a team up there on Monday to inspect that car and see what they can learn from that violent wreck.
Rhett Bodine's engine failure would leave oil on the track, causing the 10th and final caution on lap 229. The leaders would pit once more. During the sequence, he would make his way around Ernie Irvan to line up in second for the lap 234 restart, setting up the final run to the checkers.
Well, it was in the pits, the caution came out.
Dale Jarrett now finds a rear view mirror full of Ted Musgrave.
And we can see 2 distinct different lines as they go through the Jarrett on the bottom of the racetrack, Musgrave high on the racetrack.
And Ted really gets a run off that second turn as a result of being high, but he doesn't get enough run to be able to mount a charge on Jarrett going into turn 3.
Dale Jarrett has never won a race here. Ted Musgrave has never won a race. We'll check the speeds as the cars come down across the line.
And Musgrave is right there. Let's go. Let's check the speeds and see what kind of... just a little bit quicker. Ah, here we go. Musgrave taking a look.
However, would be second, and the leaders have come up on some heavy traffic.
Yeah, they had to back off Ted a little bit. They were coming up on him. They had to back off Jarrett trying to get on the inside of him going into turn 1.
Benson as back to the lead. We see that it's closed within a car length.
Goes Musgrave. Down on the inside, trying to take the lead.
Nope, he'll have to back off. Musgrave has never won a NASCAR Winston Cup race. There's Jarrett, who is outside.
Boy, those cars slipping and sliding right now. I think Jarrett's tires are completely gone.
He wants to get on the outside of Jarrett. He wants to get out there. Can he? No, he can't.
Jarrett's body sees him coming.
Here comes the white flag. Doyle Musgrave looks to the inside in 2. He may have him here coming off the corner.
And he breaks loose a little bit. Couldn't get the traction he needed. Still, that traffic is a problem up in front of him as we go into turn 3.
This is where Musgrave has been getting his good runs. Let's see how he handles it this time. Off of the corner. He looks to the inside once again, but off the corner as they come to the line. It is Dale Jarrett.
He would ultimately finish 169 thousandths of a second behind Dale Jarrett, who would claim his second victory of the season and 10th of his career.
Hats off to Ted Musgrave. He could have probably turned me a couple of times. I cut him off pretty bad. He had a good car. I really picked up a bad push there.
Ted, congratulations. A great run for you. Anything you could have done to catch the 88?
I don't know. The Prime Star Family Channel car was good. It just needed a couple more laps, I believe. You know, I wore him down pretty much, but so was I. I had maybe just a tick better. Position made a lot right there because I was as quick as him and he was as quick as me, but neither one of us could pass each other. That was the problem. And like I say, the guys really worked hard today. We came from way in the back and it made I don't know, about 20 adjustments today. Air pressure, wedge, and track bar, and on and on and on. And they did the right deal. We got it all together at the end, and I can't say no more than them guys. They did a heck of a job for me today.
Great run for Ted Musgrave. He comes home second.
Musgrave would eventually finish his Cup Series career with 20 top 5 and 55 top 10 finishes, including 3 more second-place efforts, making his final start at Bristol in 2003 driving for Jim Smith's Ultra Motorsports. He would find his greatest success in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Running full-time from 2001 to 2007, he would win 17 races in that span, along with claiming the championship in 2005. Ted Musgrave was a legend on the Midwest short tracks and a champion of the NASCAR Truck Series, nearly taking the checkers multiple times driving for the Roush satellite team during NASCAR's heyday in the mid-90s. He more than proved himself as a wheelman.